welcome back to WsCube Tech. So guys, in our previous session, we learned how to create a table. We learned how we can add fields to our table. In our today's session, we will be adding more data to it. So now that we have created the columns, we will be working on how we can add data inside it. Like we have student name, student roll number or different details. But now what we need to do, we need to add data inside it, right? That what is the name of the student, what grade he is in, and what is the email and what is the phone number. So with the help of insert query, we will be adding data inside our table today. So let's have a look on how it can be done.
Before that, if you want to become a successful data analyst and if you want to learn from our experts live, then you can call on the given number or you can fill the form that is provided in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free.
So here the starting procedure remains the same. That's why I'm not changing it over here. What I'm going to do over here is I'll be using my insert query over here to add the data. So to add the data, all we need to do, write cursor.execute. And what we need to execute over here is we need to execute this insert query. So we will be writing inside the triple quotations insert into, just like our SQLite 3, we will be using insert into. So insert into, I'll be explaining you two methods over here. That one will be with the formatting of a string and the second method would be with the help of a tuple, that how we have done it in the SQLite 3. So same method we will be using. The second method is going to be the same. The first method is going to be with the formatting of the string. So let's have a look on how that can be done. Insert into, now where do we have to insert it? We have a student details name. Our table name is student details. So we will be inserting it into student details. So insert into student details. What all information we need to insert over here, we will be writing that. We will be writing set. So who we will be setting it for? We will be setting it for the name. We will be setting it for the grade, for the student email and the phone number. So I'll be writing set. After set, we will be writing name. That name is our first field inside the single quotes. And I'll enclose this with our curly brackets because that's how the formatting is done. We'll be setting the name. What else we'll be setting? We'll be setting the grade. Grade is equals to, again, single quote open and curly brackets open close, closing the single quote over here, plus we have to add the commas after them to separate the values. After grade we have email, so email is equals to inside the single quotations curly brackets, closing the single quotations, and lastly we will have our phone number over here. So phone number is equals to single quotations inside the curly brackets, closing the curly brackets, again single quotations. And I guess we are done over here. Now this thing what we need to do, we need to format the data over here. So how we will be formatting that data? For that, again, we will be using a tuple over here. But we need to format it. So to format the data over here, what we are going to do, I'm going to write over here dot format. And what formatting we are going to do, we will be writing the details of the student over here. So I'm writing John over here. And after writing all the details over here, what we will be doing, we will be executing it. So mydb.commit, open close the parentheses. So for committing means that whatever changes we have made over here, that will be reflecting in our MySQL over there. So what all things we have done is insert into student details, that we are going to insert in the table student details. In that, what we are going to set, we are going to set the name. We are going to set the grade, we are going to set the email, and also we will be setting the phone number. Dot format means that in these variables over here, what we will be formatting, these strings we will be formatting inside them. That is John 10th, john@gmail.com, and a phone number randomly I have taken over here. Now once this is done, let's run and see what happens when we open our MySQL. So I have run it, and if you see over here, one data has been added, that is roll number 1. John 10th and 8739, that is the number. So once we refresh it, we get this data over here. This is how you can add the data. Suppose if you want to add more data, so I told you we will be talking about the second method over here. So let's have a look on what is our second method. For our second method over here, what I have done, I have written down the same three methods that we usually write down in all of our files, so code files. So basically I'll be creating a data variable over here, that I'm going to insert a data. That's why I'm creating a data variable over here. Inside I am passing insert into student details. So same thing, but with a little difference over here, student to student details. And after this, what we will be doing, we will be writing the name of the fields over here. So where we have to add them. So name We are having name. We have a class over here. Comma. Next thing we have is the email. And lastly, we have is phone number. So we'll be adding these four things. And inside these four things, what fields we are going to add, for that we'll be writing values. If you remember, we have used the same method in our SQLite 3. And inside the values, I'll be writing percentage %s, comma percentage %s, comma percentage %s, comma percentage %s. So here the data will go in this format. Now, to pass the values to this percentage %s, what we will be writing, we will be creating a variable called as k. So inside this k, I'll be writing some data in the form of a tuple. So first data I'm writing Lisa. She is in 8th grade, comma, and her email is Lisa, and her email is lisa@gmail.com. And lastly, talking about the phone number over here, so I'll be writing any random phone number. So once we are done over here, what we need to do, we need to use our execute over here. So cursor dot execute. What we are going to execute, we are going to execute this data. That means this data needs to be executed, and inside this data our tuple k should be executed. So with the comma, I'll be passing tuple k over here. And lastly, we will just write mydb dot commit. Let's run and see what happens. So if I run this code, nothing will happen over here, but if I go to our MySQL and refresh it, so you can see the new data has been added on number 2, that is second Lisa. She's in 8th grade, and lisa@gmail.com with the phone number has been added over here. So now this is about one data. Now what if you want to insert multiple data in one time? So if you want to insert a multiple data in one time, for that what could be done over here is that inside this k, we can create a list, and inside the list we can pass number of tuples over here. So if I add more data to it, so guys, here what I have done, I have added 3 data over here inside the list in the form of a tuple. So inside the list we have 3 different tuples, and now we are going to execute this. If I'll execute it, it will throw me an error. Let's have a look if it throws an error or not. So if I run it, yes, definitely it will throw an error, because why it is throwing an error over here is, if you remember in our SQLite 3, we learned that when we are storing multiple data over there inside the tables, what we have to do, we have to write execute many. So we will be writing execute many over here, and now if I run it, there is no error over here. While if I go to MySQL and if I refresh it, so you will see that the new 3 data has been added over here. So this is how we can add the data inside our table. I hope both the methods are clear to you, one with the format and one with the help of the tuple, where we have to execute it along with the data over there. So in our next session, guys, we will be talking about this select query. So stay connected, guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.